Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to another Super Sunday where we get ourselves ready and all fired up for the week. If you're ready and fired up, let's put some 441s in the chat. If you've seen the disclaimer, let me know where you're coming from or calling in from as well, and we will get ourselves started. And this is also a check just to make sure that you're hearing me. All right, so by all means, feel free. Scotland is in the building, 111. 441, but there we go. All right, who else do we have? All right, check in. 441 Trinidad and Tobago, welcome. Connecticut, 111. 441, right? 441. CFC rules 441. All right, Arizona is in the building. It must be hot out there. Is it hot out there? Canada is in the building. Welcome. Nigeria is here. Wow. Sweet bagel in the building. Welcome. Essex is here. UK 441. Welcome, Essex. Who else do we have? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. All right, we have a few more people in the waiting room. Fort Lauderdale. Welcome. Fort Lauderdale in Florida. Welcome. I'm seeing so many other people. They're not saying anything, eh? I see Nigeria in the house. Welcome, Nigeria. Turkey. Hey, don't try that. We know where you're from. Southeast London, welcome. Welcome, Southeast London. Wow, what a week last week, I tell you. What a week last week. We'll check things out, see where we were at. We actually even sent a trade setup last week here for you guys, and you should have profited from that. All right, few more people coming in. Let's let them in. All right, you guys should have profited from that trade setup. Right, so let's see what's going on. Last week was literally a week where we had to be very patient. All right, we had to be very patient, but the patience actually paid off. You know, a lot of people are always thinking, well, okay, the market is moving today, so I should do something. Right? The only time you should do something is when the market tells you to do something. Right? But you don't know, or most people don't know when the market is telling them to do something because they're not even following the fundamentals, right? The fundamentals is what will tell you that the market is telling you to do something. And if there's no fundamentals, or if the fundamentals comes in and it comes in neutral or anything, then the market ain't going to really go anywhere. All right. And we saw a little bit of that this week where we had to be a little patient, but eventually it paid off. Now I posted something here which a lot of people may have thought was a bit funny or whatever, but this is so true. Let me just share this with you. Got it. Says trade only one good setup in a whole month or go to jail. And these are the traders. All of them going to jail because nobody's patient enough to wait for that one good setup before we take the trade. All right. But I tell you what, if you wait for that one good setup, then you are way ahead of the crowd. You'll save your money for right. For one, you'll save your money. And then two, and hold on. There we go. And then two, you would really realize profits from just being patient. Patience pays, man. Patience, it really does pay. So let's see what happened last week there. And some of the trade setups that we took. Right. So we spoke about the GBP being pretty active this week coming. Hold on, a few more people coming in. Let's let them in. Awesome. All right. So we spoke about the GBP being a little bit active. We had some unemployment figures come in. This was Tuesday. We did see some positivity coming in for the pound here on this one. Then we had the inflation rate on Wednesday, which was a bit worse than expected. So that tampered things down a little bit. But the main news that we were looking for is the US CPI. All right, the US CPI, and then all these US news at the end of the week, right? That was the main thing. For the pound, it was the unemployment rate and this GDP rate as well. GDP was pretty much flat or neutral, but it was more or less a lot of positivity for the pound. So we'll come back to gold. Let's go to the pound. So GBP JPY, for example, right? So I believe this was the trade setup that we sent out last week, right? Last week's, say we were looking for a buy on this GBP JPY right here. It actually came down into our zone, right? And you know how we do it, right? We make sure that we have our fundamentals intact. Then we look to our mood swing levels, right? Here you see mood swing levels for the buy, and we're looking for a decent entry level, right? So Tuesday, when we had that news, price pushed up a little bit, right? It was positive, but then again, the next day, Wednesday, we had that negative news here. See the negative news on Wednesday for the pound, right? Which was the inflation rate. It came out at 7 o'clock in the morning. Am I on the right time zone here? Okay. But anyways, the inflation rate came out and it was negative. But then on that same day, okay, right, on that same day, we had the CPI news for the US. So remember, we're always trading one currency against the next. So we always have to be looking at the news for one currency and news of the next. And on Wednesday, the GBP USD was definitely in full-fledged. Now, GBP was pushing up, but then when that US figures came in, look at what happened, right? We had negative US news. So that should have weakened the US, but look at what happened. It actually pushed down first, right? So they had the negative news, but look, it pushed down. The US strengthened for a little bit, but this is all just a stop hunt, right? And we always got to be very conscious of these things, that the market cannot move in one direction or the next unless it has the liquidity, right? Unless it has the liquidity to do so. So, of course, it will just come back down into our zones quite nicely. We were just here waiting with a buy limit, waiting for the stop hunt to happen, and boom, the market started moving and pushing and pushing. It pushed up on Wednesday, started pushing on Thursday. Again, it wasn't really moving that much. It was a bit pretty much sideways, but it was going in the right direction. And then come Thursday, where we had that US news again. Personally, all these retail sales stuff here is not that important. I think the market was just still digesting the CPI news here, this inflation rate stuff, and the US really just got really negative on Thursday. Let's see, pound. Yeah, I mean the pound itself had a lot of negative news there on Thursday as well, but I think it's the US that really the weakness in the US caused this one to push up, and then we see that movement. We seen a little bit of a pullback here, but in all intents and purposes, or somebody's in the waiting room, yeah. For all intents and purposes, I'm personally biased for this to continue pushing to the upside, right? And oh, sorry, this is GBP JPY we were looking at. So let me just flip over to GBP USD for a minute. Right? So again, look, right in our zone here, right? Spiked to our zone and then pushed up. Now the JPY similar, but the only thing is that the JPY itself has been getting a little bit of stick, and therefore yeah, showing those signs of weaknesses. So this GBP USD, I'm biased for it to continue to push up. In terms of an entry level, we have to wait, right, for the mood swing level to print. It's going to be printing somewhere up here, right? Because we had a really extended day on Friday. I don't expect it to come all the way back down here. So I'll wait for the mood swing level to print when it opens, when the market opens back up. At in a few hours time, probably about less than 2 hours, 2 hours, an hour and 40 minutes, right? So that's GBP USD. So this was one of the trades that we sent out last week. We just had to be patient. It only hit on Thursday. We sent it out probably Tuesday, and it only hit on Thursday, and boom, 120 pips, right? So do the maths, right? This is GBP JPY. Now we were in GBP JPY for the buy since I think Monday or Tuesday, right? Tuesday, right here. It just tapped into the zone. It came back, tapped into the zone, right? But again, I hit take profit target 1 at 160 pips, hit take profit target 2 at over 350 pips, and it's still in profit. If you're still holding on, it's still in profit by at 300 pips. So do the maths again. So based on the weakness of that JPY, okay, we did the AUD JPY as well. And again, we were in that since Tuesday, but it was ranging. It really wasn't going anywhere. But again, it was in the right direction. So we just had to be patient and wait for the volatility of the market to move. And of course, AUD JPY, hit take profit target 1 over 140 pips. And you know, this is the craziness about our tool here. This is our world exclusive tool to us. It is so powerful that even if you missed that trade on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you missed it. Even on Friday, it pushed up. It came right back down into our mood swing level right here. Powerful stuff. I mean, people who don't have this, they don't even know what they're missing. There you go, right? Right to our mood swing level, pushed up to the pip, hardly any drawdown, and we are in the money. And that one, that's over 60 pips of profit. So literally, you just have to be patient and wait for the market to tell you or give you information. And of course, we are doing all the analysis within the mood swing A-list group anyway. So the A-list, we share the information, we share the analysis of why we think that one currency may be pushing up or against the next. So right, this is the advantage of being in the A-list team, and then also you have access to the mood swing tool as well, so you could get your entries really sweet. All right, And you're not restricted by waiting for trade setups in the trade setups groups, right? NZD, JPY, well, was pretty much ranging, but again, it's going in the right direction. So this setup I'll send to you, right? I'm just looking for this to continue to push to the upside. So I'll send this one to you here. All right. Anybody in the room to use thing? No? No? Okay. Then we had what else did we look at? Gold. We even looked at the indices, to be fair. Let's go to the indices. We looked at US 30 right here. Okay, so with US 30, we were looking for a deeper retracement, right, on US 30. It didn't really pull back to our zone. So this was the zone that we were looking at, but the momentum was so high to the upside, it didn't pull back, right? So that's how it goes sometimes. We don't rush it, right? We don't chase it. Look at the NAS here though. This NAS was something else. So NAS, we set the setup. It pulled back to our entry zone, and again you could see, and this was on Thursday. We sent this trade setup out. Look how close to our mood swing level. Pretty close. I mean, to be fair, I should have given it a little bit of room. But you know, again, that's the market for you. Pushed up, and then it just continued pushing to the upside. So that NAS, so we were literally in the right direction on all of these indices, and just didn't get the pullback that we wanted to get in. And we want to get in on the pullback because we want to get in on a good price, right? So that we could manage our risks appropriately. Okay. And the next big one was gold, right? Gold. I mean, I'm telling you, we absolutely murdering gold at the moment. If gold sneeze, we catch that cold. All right. So with gold, boom. See that move? Bam! Right? So we sent this out on Friday morning saying, hey, we need to catch this gold because gold, we did our fundamental analysis. Fundamentals told us we need to be buying gold. We sent that out to the team. Let's buy gold. This is the setup right here. Boom. And there we have it. 180 pips TP1, 320 pips TP2, 460 pips TP3. And literally, this could have been the only trade that you took for the whole week. You would have made mega money. Okay? You would have made mega money. So patience is key, but and the beautiful thing about having the patience, right, is you know exactly why you are waiting. Gold was my only trade. There we go. I know, Eleanor, you don't touch anything except gold. And that is a good thing to do as a trader. You don't have to be trading everything. Just stick to one thing and you will be in the money. I'm telling you. Just stick to that one thing. Master that thing and you will be in the money. Don't need to be chasing everything else. Eleanor, are you there? Are you able to talk for a minute? I know sometimes you can't. Eleanor, are you able to unmute yourself? Maybe you can't. If you can't, just type can't. Oh, on the phone. Right. Okay, no problem. No problem. All right. So, what are we going to be looking at this week? Well, of course, we're keeping our eyes on this gold here. Gold, this is the highest it has ever been, all-time highs. You know, and it's looking like potential to keep pushing, right? So let's see what's happening this coming week. Again, massive CPI news for the Canadian pairs. This is going to be very interesting for the Canadian. So on Tuesday, we could look for some Tuesday, potentially Wednesday, we look for some movements on the Canadian dollar if you trade in the Canadian. Australian PMI, very important as well. I mean, the JPY balance of trade is important, but you know, JPY is getting a beating for many other things. I mean, the interest rate is pretty low at the moment, even though they've increased it. So, you know, people are getting better interest or better returns on other currencies. So I guess they're not putting their money into the Japanese yen. Wednesday. So again, Wednesday, nothing major, but Thursday is the big day, right? Many things happening with the Australian, with the euro, with the pound, and with the US dollar. So again, expect some movements on Thursday, which means that we got to be very patient again come next week, all right, unless you're trading the Canadian, right? There is on Wednesday, there are some FOMC minutes. So the governor is going to be speaking. So that as well is going to cause the market to move. I personally would say let the governor speak. Let the governor say what he needs to say, and then we could always digest that and get a hint and a glance of what the market is going to be doing based off or how the market feels based on his speech that he made. Okay. So yeah, with that, Friday, again, the inflation rate for the Japanese yen is going to be big, and also the chairman, Mr. Powell, speaks again on Friday. Okay, so the US is going to be active. That means gold is going to be active. That means all those GBP USD, AUD USD, NZD USD, all those pairs are going to be active. So there's going to be some opportunities in there. So all we just have to do is just make sure that we are ready. We know the levels that we want to trade off of, which is our mood swing levels. Let me just look at NZD USD for a minute. I know somebody was asking about that last week. All right, so there we go. It actually started to push up after a little bit of a fall, and I think that was something to do with the NZD itself. So we're starting to see a little bit of a recovery here. And again, I'm personally biased to continue pushing up, but I'll wait for price to pull down into our levels here before we do anything on that. Gold is going to be very interesting. Again, we're going to be looking at certain things fundamentally with gold, and we know how we do. But gold, I'm telling you, we've absolutely mastered gold. Wherever gold moves, we're following right behind, without a miss. We don't miss. Right. So there's something that I wanted to share. Look at silver. I mean, silver will pretty much go in line with gold as well. I'm sorry. Yep. So there you go. Now this is a very old silver setup from way back when. All right. So, but look at let's just remove these. Look at silver though. Look at Friday. It pushed up, it came right back to our mood swing level right here. Right? Boom. There we go. Right? So silver is going to be similar to gold in terms of the pushes to the upside, I believe. I'm looking for a continuation for the upside on silver. I'm gonna wait again for mood swing level to print, and we have a push to the upside. But again, don't get too bogged down with what's happening on the chart. We always have to look at what's happening off of the chart. Then that will give us an idea of what should happen on the chart. Okay. So those people who are chart gurus and who could mark their charts up and could read the chart, they don't know how to trade. I'm just telling you. That's not trading. Trading is understanding what is happening off the chart and then relating that to what the, where price should move on the chart. That's trading. All right. So yeah, I wanted to share something with you. I think we probably have to do this next week. But for all those people who are in the A-list group, I'm gonna be giving this free bit of software to you guys. But I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna give you an example of how it's gonna benefit you. All right, it's really, really powerful. I don't know, have any one of you heard of grid trading before? Have you heard of grid trading before? Don't be shy. Yeah, heard a bit of it, but no clue. Okay, right. So I'm going to show you the power of grid trading because grid trading is extremely powerful. Now, what grid trading is essentially is, all right, so say for example, we were going for this buy on golds on let's go back to gold. Let's go to gold because gold is beautiful. All right, so we were going to get this buy on gold, right? Potentially it might have hit all level here. You might have seen it a bit late or whatever. You could do a grid trade on this, and instead of having to catch the entire move or whatever, you could catch a small amount of the move, but still make the gains as if you are traded the entire move based on grid trading. Okay. And what do I mean? Well, somebody's coming. Let me just open up a fresh gold chart here. Let's open up a fresh gold chart. Mood swing. Right. So let's say, for example, we have grids that are spaced apart every 60, right? So we'll go every 10. We'll go every 10 um pips. Okay. So this is our first entry point right here. Grid trade. We'll do every 10 pips. Put another one. Hold on. Okay. So let's put like a 10 by 10 grid. Let's see how that works out. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let's do 5 for now, right? We'll just see how powerful this is. Cool. So let's do the mathematics. So we're wanting to buy this, right? So we have essentially what this will be. It will be a buy stop. So this will be the entry right here. This one will be a buy stop. This will be another buy stop here. 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 Okay. Now remember, what a buy stop is you are driving in a bus, and then the bus stops at the bus stop, picks some passengers up, and continues in the direction of travel, right? So yeah, that's how you have to think of a buy stop. Just continuing. You're saying that the market is going to continue in this direction, and every time it gets to the stop, I want you to pick up an order and continue. That's what it does. So let's do the maths on this. Let's do the mathematics on this. So we have a entry from here to there. That's 10 pips, right? That's your first level. So you're in profit by 10 pips. Then it picks up this trade, and you start moving into profit. So now, when you get to this level, you're in profit by 20 pips on this trade, and you're in profit by 10 pips on this trade. So the market has moved 20 pips, but now you're in profit by 30 pips because you got 2 trades running. Okay. All right. As we continue pushing up, this first trade is now in profit by 30 pips. So we're doing the maths, 30. Second trade in profit by 20 pips, so that's 50 pips. And this trade in profit by 10 pips, so that's 60 pips. So essentially we moved 1 to 30 pips, but now you're in profit by 60 pips. Okay, because we have now 3 trades running. You're seeing how powerful this is? Then, as we tap here, we enter another trade, and we're going, all right, we're in profit now by 10, 20, 30, 40 pips on the first trade, 30 pips on the second trade, that's 70 pips, 20 pips on the third trade, 90 pips, 10 pips on this trade, that's 100 pips. So now we've moved 10, 20, 30, 40 pips, but we're in 100 pips of profit. Okay. So, right, and we keep going and going, right? So let's do the mathematics when we get to this level. So we 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 pips of profit here, plus 40 pips of profit, 90, plus 30 pips of profit, 120, plus 20 pips of profit, 140, plus 10 pips of profit, 150 pips. So market has moved 50 pips, but now we're in 150 pips of profit because we've grid traded. So you don't have to catch 150 pips to be able to benefit from 150 pips of profit if you understand the grid trading system. Now, the software that I've got if you've set, you could set the grids up as you want them, right? You could set it up to be 10 pips. So let's keep it as this. If we said we're gonna set a 10 pip grid at these 5 entry levels, okay? So we already know that that's going to give us 150 pips of profit. When the market gets to that level and it gets to 150 pips, it closes off everything automatically and it takes your profit. Right? It closes everything off automatically, it takes your profit, you're done. On the inverse as well is you could set it so that when you if it goes in the opposite direction, you could set the amount of loss that you want to take so that if it gets to that loss limit, then it closes off the grid, right? And you just wait for the next setup where you could execute your grid trading. Now, if you see the power in this, let's drop a 7 in the chat. If you see the power in this, let's drop a 7 in the chat. There we go. Right? So for all those people who are in the A-list group, I'm going to get this software to you and we're going to do some training on it. Now, at the moment, it's working on MT4, but I'm working on getting it working on MT5 as well. For all you A-listers, we're going to be stepping it up another gear. All right? So stay tuned for that. We're going to be going really advanced now. This is very advanced. So notice I took a long while before we even shared this because it is very advanced. And you've got to really understand how it all works. You have to understand the mathematics of it all so that you could set your grids up to suit you. You know, you could set it up however you want, to be fair. Right? There's a lot of flexibility in it. But once you understand the system, you understand the mathematics, then you are away, right? So with that said, if you want to be a part of some of that action, make sure you're a part of, get involved in the A-list group, right? Those are the movers and shakers, right? That's, hold on. So make sure that you get in on your command contour. Right? Get to A-list group, get in there and make sure you're using the code, right? Make sure you're using the code CBG for your 20% discount. Do you guys, oh, hold on. Do you guys have any questions at all? Do you guys have any questions at all? I know I do a lot of talking sometimes, but let's sit back and ask for questions. Am I missing anything? No? Nobody has any questions at all? All right, well, if you guys have no questions, then we are going to wrap it up. As always, wishing you a fantastic week, and we will be back again for more. Have a fantastic week, everyone. Bye-bye for now.